we have our brother from Switzerland, right?
Yeah, Charbax, how are you?
Charbax, how are you doing?
Do you speak French?
Yes, sir. Comment ça va?
Ça va. I see you say go to hell Super League. You're not very happy, right?
No.
Can I give you another opinion? What I actually think is a good thing, because I've been waiting for this for 10 years, more than 10 years, you know.
Okay.
I think there's 2 or 3 billion people in the world who love football. So why should England or a few European countries control all football? I think it's unfair. I think they need to open up, and I think I think the plan is in 1 or 2 years they're going to rename it the World Super League. They're going to add one team from India, one team from China, one team from Africa, one team from South America, and 1 or 2 teams from US. And they're going to make it a global thing. And you know, the matches don't need to be only in the team's home stadiums. They could be playing anywhere, you know, like Shanghai can say, hey, we'll give you I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars if you come and play a few matches, like Chelsea FC Barcelona in Shanghai, you know, and the stadium is going to be full, 100,000 people. And, you know, like, why keep football? Like, who's interested in watch? I'm not going to be, I don't know if some of you guys are in the UK, but like Burnley or Fulham, or I don't know what those teams are called, right? I mean, I'm not saying they're bad or anything. I'm just saying, I think they could have a Super League B and a Super League C and a Super League D, and just have, you know, like the flights are so cheap, especially now, like on the airplanes, nobody's flying. They could fly the team anywhere in Europe to play the games. Why do they only have to fly a few teams that qualify to the Champions League? How about all the smaller teams? They can also play against Marseille or against Nice or against, you know, they can they should be mixing up and actually flying, for example, to Africa, play some matches, like fly to India, fly to Korea. Why not? It costs like $500 to fly one player, and it takes like 10 hours. They can be on the other side of the world. You know, like, I think it needs to be more democratic, and all these fans around the world, they're not. And for example, Chelsea has 100 million fans, right? Why not let those 100 million fans enjoy the team, like, you know, like where they are, like maybe
do you think that they are not enjoying right now? Like the Premier League, for example, is the most watched league in the world. I think it's kind of global already. It looks like the rich people want to make more money rather than helping.
You know, like, I really hate capitalism normally, right? But sometimes it does offer some kind of innovation that could be actually positive. But of course, it's a crazy thing what they're doing. Yeah. But on the other hand, imagine this: every week they're gonna be like huge matches. And they're not just going to be like friendlies or anything, you know, like even Champions League right now. Of course, they get to play each other, but usually it's only in the quarterfinal and the semifinal. So it's like 5 or 6 or 10 matches per year. Now it could be 10 matches every week that are on that kind of like level, you know?
Do you think that this is going to be like boring? It's not going to be special anymore, you know, like, you know, because you want to play Leo Messi like once a year, you know, it's special. It's gonna be like nothing.
You know, like I think the thinking is, football was designed in 1898 by some English people. I mean, there's a movie you can watch and stuff. And back then they were traveling around on horses. So of course you have to play locally, and you can't imagine going to France and play a match. It was like pretty much impossible. It would take a month to go there and come back. So that's why they had the World Cup every 4 years. So why can't we just upgrade things and make things like more modern right now? And people need to play all the time, not only every 4 years. I think it should be the World Super League all the time, just all the time.
You know what? I appreciate your point of view, because I haven't found somebody who challenged my idea of kicking off, you know, the Super League thing. But good idea, you know. This is democracy. We have to just talk, you know.
Of course, I think if the teams suck and don't win the matches, they should get kicked out, and another team should take the spot. And there should be some kind of way to relegate teams and get in and out and stuff. But maybe this is just going to be the first year like this, and then next year and the year after they're gonna modify it or something like that.
Do you think the founder member are going to accept to get kicked or get go down because they founded the organization? And then they have the privilege to do whatever they want? Or let's say drug test, for example, if somebody tested positive to some drugs, they're gonna hide that because I'm telling you, it's serious, brother, because you don't want to expose your brother, right? You got my back. You got my back.
Of course, but you have to consider also another thing that's a little bit crazy. When I look at the numbers, like I'm from Switzerland, right? And the teams over there I think the football in Switzerland is great, but they're like peanuts compared to UK because the budgets are so much smaller. There's so little money anywhere else. And when you look at a team like Geneva, they went bankrupt because they were minus 1 million dollars, right?
Wow.
And you look at Manchester United, Chelsea. Manchester United has minus 500 million. That was before Corona. So, like these banks just tell them, just continue. We don't care if you're in a minus. That was before Corona. Imagine how crazy it is now with Corona. It's like they're in a minus of billions, So, of course, it's crazy, but this might actually save football, because the system right now is like completely it doesn't work. So the next stage was maybe to like reduce salaries on all the players. So I don't know, some kind of thing like that. I'm not sure they would agree. Have you heard about them reducing salaries during Corona? I don't know, but
no, but now they are getting rich. It looks like this is going to be super rich, that players are going to get maybe 10 times more money, and nobody is going to control how much they pay them. Anybody, if you have a question for our brother, Mr. Charbax from Switzerland, and please, you can jump and ask him a question. Just keep it respectful. This is democracy. Even if you don't, you have to respect people's opinion. Alex, do you have a question?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I don't really have any more questions. I was kind of just listening in, and there's some points I agree on, some other points I don't agree on. But I guess it's like I'm not opinionated to it. I'm not against it, but at the same time, there's a lot of problems, and I'm not happy with the problems. Like, look, as fans, sometimes you can be hypocritical and say, "Oh, yes, if you support." I don't know if you can relate, but like, let's say people support, we're supporting Chelsea, supporting the big clubs, and people won't care about these other teams like the likes of Fulham's and the likes of Aston Villa's, the likes of Leicester, the likes of West Ham's. And just for me, it's just the problem with this whole Super League for me is what was coming back when I was talking with Max is football is about winning and earning the right to win something, right? That will go away. There will be no sense of earning something that you've done as a team and build something special. That will go. Yes, we all know that romance in football left a very long time ago, and it has, and it's just sad to see. And look, I think the people who we have to blame is FIFA and UEFA, and I keep saying this, and I said this before. They're the people. They're the people that are causing this, not our clubs, not the Europe, the
Super League,
Super League, It's them that they have to take the blame for because they're letting this play out. And
how they did it play out because they are protesting against it anyway.
Yes, but the reason why is because they were still allowing this to happen. They could have said, okay, no, we're going to close this. We can't accept this. The other problem is that they didn't respect the deals that they had with clubs. They didn't respect with the likes of Man United, the likes of Liverpool's, like the Chelsea's, like the Arsenal's, Man City's, and whatsoever. The respect between those two associations wasn't good. It has never been good because the amount of it's all about money. Look, guys, at the end of the day,
about what you were just saying, I think the main thing I would like to see more of is the international aspect of this. I think I don't really like that there's all these national leagues. I mean, of course, national leagues are fine. I mean, I'm not saying we should stop national leagues. I'm just saying the focus should be more on international, like matches. And why not have a League A? And let's say the founders are in the League A in the beginning, but they should be able to lose out of that eventually. But let's say in the first year, they don't even consider that aspect, but it's going to be an aspect eventually. And I think there will be some teams that can qualify. So there should be, they're already saying there'll be 5 teams that could qualify. So it's not much different from the Champions League. It's always the top 12 plus 3 or 4 random lucky ones that join in. Like once every couple of years, there's Basel in Switzerland that maybe comes and does a few things there. But they usually never get, I mean, they could get further, but the chances are so little there. So I'd like to see more international, and I'd like to see it bigger than Europe. So that's also something I think they should consider doing at the World League, having one team from China, one team from India join, a couple teams from the US, a South American team join. Like, and then if these teams, like let's say India is 1.5 billion people, they could actually pay some players. They could have a really good team if they had a place to play that was outside just the national league in India. It's so, I mean, I haven't watched the matches, but I'm just thinking there's no point in them investing $500 million on players if they're just playing Mumbai against Delhi.
But you know, sorry, you know what I would say to that though?
We have sorry, Alex. Yeah. We have Herbert from India. He's a Man United fan. Herbert, do you have anything to say about what our brother Charbax is saying?
Yeah, I was just listening to him and just made credit to
him. Yeah, go ahead, Herbert.
Yeah, I think I was listening to him. I mean, credit to finding any sorts of positive around this Super League thing. But problem with my country is that we don't have particularly an infrastructure problem because we have a stadium which is bigger than the Camp Nou. So the problem is that the investment which is not going into it. So suppose like a team from Delhi or Mumbai is trying to play like someone from Africa, right? More often than not, that's going to be, from my perspective, it's going to be a one-sided game. So obviously, most of us will not watch. I mean, we'll watch it for the fact that we are patriotic and all that, but it's not going to be interesting, right? Because even in the Under-17 World Cup, we lost our first game to Ghana, and it was like 4 or 5-0. So it's just a big difference in culture and like the investment which goes in. And but there is a possible solution to this, as he was saying, right? Like some teams need to be relegated and some needs to come in. I think UEFA was trying to something like that using that Conference League, right? So suppose whoever does not make the Europa, like suppose the Leeds and all those teams, they'll get into playing into the Conference League, from which they can go into the Europa and then eventually to the Champions League, which I found like a better solution. But this is just a money grabbing league and trying to use us fans as a just to make more money.
How many huge stadiums are there in India, for example, bigger than the Camp Nou and stuff?
No, the bigger than Camp Nou there's only one in Kolkata. But again, there are lots of bigger stadiums at the capacity of 20,000-25,000. But the problem is that the investment is not going in from the grassroots level to make football a big.
But I think the reason the investment is not going anywhere else than Europe is because, like for example, the US they love football, but they don't really get the challenge like we get in Europe. So, for example, to qualify to the World Cup for them is so easy because they just have to play a few Caribbean teams. And of course, they'll qualify. And there's only Mexico and the US in their group or whatever. So they don't really get any challenge. But what if 1 or 2 teams from the US, maybe they'd have to pay the ticket. Let's say they will have to pay $1 billion to the league and say for 3 years, we have 1 team from Miami and 1 team from Los Angeles. Suddenly they can use the budget to buy players from wherever they want. And they can maybe have a chance of beating FC Barcelona. Who knows? I mean, why not? There's so many other players than the 11 that are selected in Barcelona. There's like so many other players in Brazil or Argentina or wherever. They're playing in smaller teams in Europe right now, but they could be, they should open it up, I think. And for example, the stadiums in India, they could be paying to have the match be played there. You could have Chelsea against Barcelona in the Super League played in Mumbai. And the stadium will be full. And it would not be like a friendly match. It would be actually part of the Super League. And they could do the same thing in Shanghai,